Recently, I went to Pakistan for some family things. Now, me being me, I took a camera along to really enjoy and capture the moments. But unlike what some other people do, where they take the entire setup or they take their main camera, I took a specific camera and it taught me a lot of new things for enjoying the moment and really figuring out what I really like in photography. So first off, the camera I did take was the Fuji X-T10. Now, if you want to hear more about this camera specifically, you can obviously do your own research or look at the video in the iCard or in the description below, because that'll give you some more insight on this perfect travel camera that I've created that I really, really love. But long story short, this camera isn't really powerful. It's pretty standard. It's actually pretty old too. But this camera allowed me to be very creative with its film recipes. So the film recipes are something that I haven't really used as much because I use Canon primarily. So for me, traveling made this much more fun because every time I found a scenario where I wanted to maybe take a black and white photo or create like a golden hour photo, it was very easy to flip between these, and that really helped enhance my creativity and even take the most mundane things like a hallway and make it much more interesting and much more fun to take pictures of. Another thing I learned is embracing black and white photography. Now, obviously, there's going to be some scenarios where it's not going to be ideal to take something in color. You'll see noise, you'll see grain, etc. But this actually helps in black and white photography where it's more shadow based, more contrast. It's just obviously black and white. So that's something I really like doing because it just helped make some stuff really interesting, more so than what I thought would be when it's just a normal color photo. Another thing that was absolutely crucial that really helped me enjoy my time is also not having a crazy setup. Not having a crazy setup meant that I had to adjust accordingly. Usually having only one camera to walk around with and take photos with. So I didn't have my strobe, I didn't have flash, I didn't have a lot of different things. So it really forced me to use settings I wasn't comfortable with and really forced me to move around and do things that I did not think I would want to do. And also it meant that if I couldn't get a shot, I had to deal with it. So if I couldn't get the right angle, if I couldn't get something that I wanted to, ideally, then doing this with this camera and the way the lens works and everything meant that I would have to adjust and really be creative in taking that photo and getting the best shot accordingly. And why that's so important as a creative is you have to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. And I know that sounds a little bit weird because you have to really know that certain scenarios will not work your way. So you have to adjust accordingly. And that's just a great problem solver and how you deal with those things. So that's something that really helped force me to do that as well. Before we continue on with the video, be sure to like and subscribe down below so you can see more of these videos. Anyway, let's get right back into the video. Another thing is also not post-processing my photos nearly as much. The beauty with my Fuji camera and obviously all the other Fuji cameras that have film recipes is that these looks are going to be made into the photos. Now, obviously if you shoot in RAW as well, which I highly recommend, you can go back and change these settings later because you have the actual RAW file to work with. But personally, I just like having that as insurance. Usually I would just take my JPEGs and be very happy with it because it'd be exactly how I saw it in camera. That's why I liked it so much, because it really just made me feel happy with what I took and I didn't have to worry about it later on. And more so for the fact is that if you're post-processing your photos, it'll look fake and artificial, and it almost gives the film look if you don't edit it at all. You have to almost act like you're using film. And that's what's really fun about it. Because for my Fuji camera, for example, I use whatever SD card is in there, which is the one I got it with, which is like a 32 gigabytes. So it only takes about 700 photos. So for me, who was gone to Pakistan for 12 days, I had to kind of space things out and really be selective with what photos I took. So it, again, helped me be more creative and very selective with what I took and really brought back that film camera feel that I used to be, the film camera feel that I had when I was really young and I took photos on film. And finally, for me, I like documenting everything. So whether it was on my phone or my actual camera, I try to take pictures of everything and get a whole vibe of everything. And that meant even capturing people in photos. Having the photos that were, again, not perfect, where things might have been out of focus, people were in it, or it wasn't as clean as I wanted it to be, it just added to the photo, in my opinion, instead of actually taking away from it. Because at the end of the day, you are going there to experience life. You're going there to experience how people live, the culture, everything there that is happening, you're going there to enjoy. And that's something that I really liked doing with my camera, my phone, etc. And it just made the adventure really fun. And there's actually one final one I'm going to throw in, one bonus one that I actually forgot to do, but it didn't really relate to this specific trip, but I do have to prepare later on, is taking a GoPro or an action camera. And why this is important is because if you're going to some place where there's lots of swimming, or there's maybe like some underwater stuff you could do, or just in general things that might be more action camera based, you don't want to take your camera on this, you don't want to take your phone on this. So capturing those moments on a GoPro or some DJI Osmo or just some kind of action camera will be much more helpful to you and much more safe for you as well. So that's something that I will do soon, and I do have, but I just have to set up. So I hope you enjoyed that video, got some value out of it. If you liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe down below so you can see more of these videos. And if you want to follow me on TikTok or Instagram or any other social media, feel free to look at my social handles over here. I hope you see some content that you'll really enjoy. And if you want to see another cool video, be sure to look at this one over here because I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you want to check out the channel for some other cool content, then be sure to look over here. I really hope you enjoyed this video, got some value. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.